This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this? Dun 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No.
Y'all, just stop.
Just wanna say TV, you are my best friend. You got what I need. But you say he's just a friend. But you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need.
And you say he's just a friend.
Not a lover, but a friend.
Oh, just a friend, just a friend. That was the opening performance at the Emmys last night. Welcome to DBL. I'm with my friends, Al and Erica. It's Monday, September 20th. Let's get started. It was TV's big night at the Emmys, huh?
Was DBL on?
No. And a few shows took home a majority of the awards. So let's talk about it, all right? Ted Lasso scored big wins for comedy with Jason Sudeikis named Outstanding Lead Actor and two of his co-stars winning for supporting actor and actress in a comedy series. Netflix's The Crown reigned supreme, winning Outstanding Drama Series, and four actors took home trophies, including Olivia Colman, Josh O'Connor, Gillian Anderson, and Tobias Menzies, who was not even there. Finally, The Queen's Gambit checkmated the competition. Nice one, Michael. Taking home the last award of the night for Outstanding Limited or Anthology Series. So, DBL Nation, very simple question to you. Did you watch? Did you watch the Emmys last night? Very easy. Please participate. Go to dblvote.com to let us know what did you all think of last night's show.
And
Erica.
don't worry. If you did not watch last night, I believe the director of Queen's Gambit is still giving his speech. So,
He's still talking.
What? You could probably tune in
God.
and just see the rest of it.
When he took out 3 pieces of paper, like lined with like small print, I'm
That
like,
was the most annoying part of the night because Debbie Allen came on, accepts the Governor's Award. You hear about all of the barriers that she has broken, how she was discriminated against and not even allowed to attend initially the dance academy that really was the epic thing for her to do in that moment. All of these things, all of her accomplishments, she says, I'm going to take my time. He comes in and says, well, I'm going to take my time too. Yo, bro, you're not getting the Governor's Award, and you aren't Debbie Allen.
Yeah, but I look at that as a problem with the producing. I feel like they should have allotted more time for Debbie Allen. I feel like the Governor's Award should come with more perks, and that is more time to speak because you were talking about a larger body of work. Every year we're going to have a hit show. Every year we're going to have shows like that's the show of the year, and those people should be able to speak. But that time should not be commensurate with what Debbie Allen or anybody that wins a Lifetime Award gets.
Agreed, and we're going to talk about this later in the show because he's still talking about it, so we're going to talk about it. About the winners, though, I did want to let people know the Ted Lasso winner, the woman that Best Supporting Actress, I didn't know this, but she was also the shame woman from Game of Thrones.
Wow.
Okay.
Of GIF fame.
Of GIF fame. Shame. Shame. So how did you guys think of the winners? Anything stand out to you?
Erica, I wasn't surprised. What about you? I knew Ted Lasso was going to clean up. Here's how I knew The Crown was going to do well. I don't watch The Crown, and I expected it to do well. That's how you know when something's really famous is when you don't know anything about it. Like women's tennis, I know very little, but I know Serena. That's how The Crown is for this kind of genre. So were you surprised?
I wasn't surprised, but for different reasons. I mean, this is the big elephant in the room. All of this talk about diversity and inclusion and representation in each and every speech, and that was not reflected in the winners category.
Correct.
The trending Emmys So White started all over again. It's amazing. There were almost 50 Black, Brown, indigenous actors nominated, and none of them won in any of the categories. And it's just one of those things where you're like, okay, is it enough to represent just to be there?
Right.
And that's
is that
how
enough?
You feel. It's like it can't be enough just to be there.
Just to be nominated. Let's talk about that. Let's get into it, okay? A lot of people, like Erica is saying, are criticizing the award show. They're saying, like she said, Emmys So White, that hashtag, it was trending all over Twitter. No Black actors won big awards, despite a record number being nominated, 49. But there were some milestone moments. It was a big night for RuPaul. He became the most awarded person of color in history with his 11th win for RuPaul's Drag drag race. Debbie Allen, like we spoke about, also made history as the first black woman to win Emmy's Governor's Award. And finally, Michaela Cole became the first black woman to win the Emmy for Best Limited Series Writing for her HBO show, I May Destroy You. Michaela gave a very moving speech dedicating her award to survivors of sexual assault. We have a clip. Let's take a look.
Write the tale that scares you, that makes you feel uncertain, that isn't comfortable. I dare you.
So Emmy's so white. I kept seeing like white after white after white after white after white. And again, all they kept pushing was diversity, diversity. So they didn't walk the walk, talk the talk, in my view. Al, how did you feel?
Well, you know, I looked at it, and I understand the Emmy's so white, and that there's already a precedent for that hashtag. But as I looked at the shows this year, Ted Lasso, a show that I do not watch, which I do also know is popular, is about a white guy that takes over a soccer team in Europe. I'm assuming that's going to be a mostly white cast. I'm assuming the cast of The Crown is going to be mostly white. Their popularity is going to seep over. And my issue with this whole thing was it seems like the same shows kept winning for different categories. So it just took it away. Like, I get it. The Crown is really good. But nobody else had a good wardrobe. Right. Nobody else had an outstanding makeup artist. It just seemed like, yes, the diversity was missing, but just the diversity in terms of other people winning, Erica.
See, I would have thought, and I just had this conversation with our producer, Michael Dean, because, you know, this was a very interesting time for just television and streaming history, period, because we were in a pandemic. A lot of us were very attached to these shows. I expected for there to be a sprinkle of everything, like this particular show wins for Best Director, and then this particular wins for Best Actor, but to have it all just so concentrated. But I do want to say about Michaela Cole, because her speech was like 30 seconds and it was the most powerful speech, I believe, given all night. But when she said that this is directed to the writers, it was directed to so many more people than just the writers, because, you know, I've talked very openly about how that show, I May Destroy You, changed my life. And the truth is, this came out in June of 2020. We were already in lockdown, so we were in that silent place. We were in a place of where there could be real transition. And when I journeyed through I May Destroy You, it freed me and opened me up in a way that I had never experienced about my trauma and my pain, and it forced me to process it. And I did take something out of it. So when she gave that speech, it was just so impactful, because I feel like people felt seen, and you could tell because people were up and
the standing ovation was unbelievable, and it just kept going and going, and you could feel people wanting that. Let's talk about some of the more awkward moments of the evening, like those acceptance speeches we were just talking about. Debbie Allen seemed to handle it best, telling them to just stop the clock. Take a look.
I want to say thank you for this glorious moment in the sun. Honey, turn that clock off. I ain't paying no attention to it. Turn it off. Turn it off.
On the other hand, as we were speaking about the director of The Queen's Gambit, Scott Frank, if you missed it, he was roasted for this super long Emmy speech, which went on for more than 2 minutes, despite the playoff music being played 3 times. Thrice, people. Thrice. Another thing that's getting widely criticized are Seth Rogen's jokes all about COVID. Take a look. Let's talk about it on the other side.
Let me start by saying there is way too many of us in this little room. What are we doing? They said this was outdoors. It's not. They lied to us. We're in a hermetically sealed tent right now.
He goes, it was more important to get the 3 chandeliers than making sure Eugene Levy's alive tonight. That's the decision.
That's a funny joke.
I thought he was right on, and he said he wouldn't have come tonight. I thought that was great. Let's really quickly get to the poll to find out how many people watched. The question was simple. Did you watch? 88% of you say no. 12% of you say yes. Wow. Surprising?
No.
I don't think I think it's surprising maybe this year.
Yeah.
But I don't find it super surprising.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah, I just looked at it as, you know, because there were constant comments throughout the Emmys that were partisan, you know, taking the ivermectin kinds of skits that they were making. And it made it so that if you were a person that leaned a certain kind of way, they were kind of letting you know that we don't care if you don't like this. And I thought that that's an interesting way to have a product where you're letting half the audience know that, like, we don't care if you watch or not. And apparently they're tuning out.
Interesting. Well, it was probably because we weren't there. Not,
yeah, that's right.
You weren't watching, right? Is that why?
Well, that would be the wrong show, Tori.
That's okay. Okay, all right, fine.
There's a date.
Yes. So
I know, but still, we should want them all.
Let's just go to the wrong one.
Coming up on DBL, Sherry Shepherd gives us the scoop on her new movie. Plus, does Fabio have a crush on her? And a tragic ending in the search for Gabby Petito while internet investigators try to crack the case. Does social media need to settle down when it comes to true crime, or are they helping?
Closed captioning provided by
We have a question.
Okay.
Jules Watson says, but maybe the people of color who are nominated weren't the best choices this year. Should people of color take home an award just because they're people of color, giving the third place a gold medal just because they're people of color? What do you guys think?
I think that question can easily be reversed. You know, is it right, or does it seem like it even makes sense that it's never a person of color?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you can ask that question either way. Like, is the white man always
better? Right. Or the white woman always better?
Right.
Right. That's interesting.
So, I mean, you can ask the question, but I do think that you can turn it around the other way. Sorry?
What the voting block is, I'm curious, because that's what it's about, right? Who's voting? People just vote.
But it's crazy to me that the message, it's more like the messaging. There's such a concerted effort to talk about diversity and inclusion. And obviously, these are like voted on by the peers. So these are people who are artists, and you would think that the idea of there being more diversity in the viewing that we're seeing right now is important and appreciated in a different way. But I think ultimately we're still in this space where tradition kind of runs supreme. And when I say tradition, I'm saying it more like just the way it's always been, not that there's any real foundation to why it's been that way.
And then questioning why that would be, Erica. Like, why would you want anything to be traditional when the world is changing and splintering in a way where nothing traditional, except for maybe Christmas morning and Thanksgiving, is the same?
Right.
Television, it went from 20 shows to 460.
And it's the same six shows are in it.
Yes, this viewing block. You're competing with TikTok. You're competing with YouTube and Facebook, Live. And we still want to do something the same way. I think there needs to be like a real innovative look at how we choose pieces from these shows and integrate them into all these different places and pull in an audience that might not have even known that the Emmys were on.
And true, remember the weekend said about the Emmys, there's secret little... Welcome back to DBL. I've been following this case. I know a lot of you have too. The case of Gabby Petito took a major turn over the weekend. So police found human remains yesterday in Wyoming that they are believed to be Gabby's. An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow. Officials are still on the hunt, though, for her fiance/boyfriend, Brian Laundrie. They were looking at a nature reserve near his Florida home, but the search was called off, and police and the FBI raided his house earlier today. But let's talk about the other big thing in the case, internet sleuths. If you were online this weekend, especially on TikTok, there were tons of videos of folks posting theories about the case. The Gabby Petito hashtag was viewed more than 212 million times. So do internet sleuths help or hinder in situations like this? And why are so many people obsessed with it? I follow this case a lot, and I watched a lot of the TikTok videos. And some showed her hair. The root had grown out in many of the pictures during her van life. And by the time he posted a picture, her hair was all blonde, so it looked like it was taken at a different time. Then someone said, allegedly, I picked up Brian Laundrie hitchhiking, and I tracked the route and sent it to the FBI. Then someone actually found the van on like a GoPro. So in my mind, these people really helped crack certain things.
Can you answer a question for me? Because I should have looked this up. This is my fault. So he was at home for a little while, and the cops knew that he was at the house.
Right.
Correct.
But then eventually he was just allowed to leave.
Correct.
Right.
He escaped, basically.
Okay, so the cops found more reason to kick in Breonna Taylor's door than to his door?
Right, yes.
Okay, I just did not understand that. Okay.
Right, he chose not to speak with them, and then he disappeared.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, that's what happened.
That in my phone.
Apparently you can. You know, to your question, I do think that a lot of people helped. However, there's a strange dynamic that happens anytime a public figure, especially from social media, something terrible happens to them, because they almost become like a character in this in real-time story, and people forget that they're a daughter and a sister, and now it's like this sensationalized thing that the internet has taken over. And for all of those who have really helped, truly helped in the case, I think a lot of it is just super painful for the people who are actually in their lives.
See, I totally disagree with you. And I know why you would say that. But I think if I were a mother, father, whatever, and someone was missing, I'd want 1,000 gazillion eyes looking at every single possibility with a
which eyes are good.
I agree. I agree. But I'd rather have more quantity at that point if you're trying to find somebody than quality. And now I hear you. I'm just saying what I would want. I'd want every single person looking, and every little clue looked at, and every little GoPro looked at.
But again, Tori, that's what always hampers and hinders.
Not always. It helped in this case.
When you say, hey, we've got a missing DBL host, her name's Tori, they're going to be flooded with 20,000 people.
They found her van because of someone.
Yes, but do you know how many different...
They found her van from someone on TikTok. Do you know how much?
So do you think that we should now rely completely on the people on the internet?
What was the case that they solved, the Golden State Killer?
Right, that was Patton Oswalt's ex-wife.
Correct. Remember, may she rest.
Or wife, I don't want to say.
No, ex-wife, yeah.
Yeah, but
she passed away.
I don't want to be disrespectful.
I will say that was solved mostly by internet amateur sleuths.
By her.
So why is that a problem if it's giving answers?
I don't think it's a problem, but you asked if it's a hindrance, and I would imagine that it is a hindrance.
Interesting.
But I mean, what do we know? At the end of the day, the very unfortunate. But see, here's the thing. Look what we're talking about. And this girl's remains were just found.
Right.
So it does kind of, like, it doesn't give it the grace and dignity that I believe that this young woman truly deserves.
That's somebody's child.
Yeah, I do. But as the family, I'd also want to know exactly where she was. Interesting discussion. Let us know what you think. Coming up on DBL, we got Sherry Shepherd's new Lifetime movie. She spreads an important message about mental health. You do not want to miss our interview with her coming up next.
Resettling refugees is no easy task, let alone doing it in the middle of a deadly wave of COVID-19. However, our research shows the refugees are being screened and vaccinated against COVID-19 and other diseases. Earlier this month, the Virginia Department of Health reported several cases of measles among Afghan refugees. It got people wondering, are the refugees from Afghanistan required to get vaccinated from COVID-19 and other diseases? Let's verify. We went to the Department of Homeland Security to get the answer. A spokesperson told us Afghan refugees are required to be vaccinated against measles, mumps, and rubella, polio, COVID-19, and whatever other age-appropriate vaccinations are required by the CDC. If the refugees have not had those vaccines, they will be given them. The only exceptions are for medical reasons, and DHS takes those on a case-by-case evaluation. So we can verify, yes, Afghan immigrants are required to get several standard vaccines, including the COVID-19 vaccine. If they don't have proof of the vaccination prior to arrival, they will begin receiving the vaccinations when they get here. There's another detail the Department of Homeland Security sent to me. They said each refugee is tested for COVID-19 when they get here. And according to DHS, they're taking every precaution to slow the spread of the virus. With Verify, I'm Matt Gregory.
telling me everything. This is not us. Hannah, we talk about things.
I can't take this kind of pressure. What am I not telling you? We hung out, we watched movies, and we fell asleep. It was a boring night.
Who else was there?
Welcome back to DBL. I'm sure a lot of you have had that conversation. That was a scene from Imperfect High, a new Lifetime movie that tackles the topic of mental health in teens. It stars Sherry Shepherd and Nia Sue, and we caught up with them earlier in today's Chatting with the Stars. Sherry and Nia, welcome to DBL. Now, before we get to your very important movie, Imperfect High, which is so incredibly important, we want to get to it, we do have one special question for you, each from our viewers. So, Sherry, you once dreamed of, quote, frolicking on a beach with Fabio, and he recently said you were very sexy. If he was watching right now, what would you say to Fabio?
I would say to Fabio, I would go out with you, but you said that you like women who like nature and hiking. I don't know where I would pack my wigs to go nature hiking. If you want to take me, get a massage at the Four Seasons to a remote island with a pool and a jacuzzi, I'm so on a date with you. I think you're sexy too.
We're gonna be a matchmaker.
Fabio, the door is open.
The door's open.
I love it. All right, now Nia, obviously you started off on Lifetime's Dance Moms, just like YouTube star JoJo Siwa. Now, she's gonna be competing on Dancing with the Stars this season. Now, a lot of people are saying it's not fair for professionally trained dancers to compete on Dancing with the Stars. So what would you say to them?
Number one, I've always wanted to be on Dancing with the Stars, so nobody better say anything if I'm on it. Like, let me have my moment. Let me have my moment. I'm so proud of JoJo for doing it too. Having a same-sex dance partner, insane. And like, I've watched Dancing with the Stars my whole entire life. So to that, I would say, you know what? As dancers, especially coming from like a competitive dance world, we don't know how to ballroom dance.
Fair.
We don't. We just do not. And also, there's been like a lot of, dancers, gymnasts on the show. So I feel like it's good to, it keeps your brain sharp. It helps you learn, it's an experience. It's not just about the dancing, it's about performing.
About performing.
I love
that.
it.
All right, Sherry, now let's talk about mental health. It is such an important topic. We talk about it a lot on our show on purpose. How does that play a role in your new Lifetime movie, Imperfect High?
Wow, because it's so relevant right now with mental health, anxiety, drugs. We are losing so many people to drugs and anxiety and mental health. And I think a lot of times, especially teenagers, they have been quarantined for 1.5 years, 2 years, not having any socialization. Everything that they were looking forward to has been snatched away. Graduations, dances, hiking trips, and they're suffering. And I think parents, we don't know how to break through. We don't know how to, pull them back from that depression because we're going through it.
Exactly.
So I'm hoping that this movie, shows parents a way to intentionally, be there for their kids so that they don't go down that road.
Now, let's stay on that topic. Nia, you play a teen struggling to fit in. What do you want other teens to learn from your character?
I think the biggest takeaway from this film, and I want people to learn from Hannah, is to get the help that you need. You don't need to struggle alone, and you're not alone. Even if you feel like you are, you're not. You have people around you that love you. There's so many, different places that you can seek help now. So don't be embarrassed to find ways to get help and get the help that you need.
Well, this is Suicide Awareness Month. I'm so glad we're having this discussion. We may be saving lives as we speak. Sherry and Nia, thank you for joining us. And for anyone watching, struggling with substance abuse or seeking mental health support, as Nia said, don't be scared. You can contact the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration's hotline by picking up the phone right now, 1-800-662-HELP. We're so excited to have you and feature this. We're so thankful you did this movie. We'll be right back. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
California's recall election is over. Gavin Newsom remains in office, and soon the bill for the recall will come due, leading some Twitter users to ask, who pays for it? So let's verify. Does the losing party or other candidates pay for the California recall election? Our sources are the state's Department of Finance, the Legislative Analysis Office, and the California Secretary of State. In July, finance officials estimated the recall would cost $276 million. These costs include overseeing the election and expenses for mailing ballots, counting votes, running poll sites, and other expenses. Since the procedures for a recall are part of state law, the California legislature must allocate the funds to run the election, and that money comes from taxpayers. So it's false that the losing party or other candidates paying for the California recall election. The cost is paid by taxpayers. Candidates only have to pay for campaign expenses like advertisements and rallies. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments and a lot about Gabby Petito saying that the boyfriend's refusal to speak was a big red flag.
I'd say so.
All agree on that. DBL's new every day. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.